Like clean air and clean water, healthy soil is essential for a healthy environment. Deep soil, rich with organic material, provides valuable environmental functions. It absorbs rainwater, releasing it to plants between rainfalls, helps prevent flooding and soil erosion, and filters out pollutants. Traditional land development practices, including scraping away topsoil and running heavy equipment over the building site, damage the soil so that it can no longer carry out these important functions. To preserve and restore healthy soils, King County now requires all construction projects involving site development to meet a soil depth and quality standard as part of the construction process. Department of Natural Resources and Parks Project Manager Chris Beatty explains the guidelines for the program.
Effective January 2005, King County adopted a post-construction soil standard. And the soil standard requires a minimum depth of 8 inches of loose, uncompacted topsoil.
It also requires that the soil have an organic matter content of 5% for turf applications and 10% for planting beds. That's about 20 to 25% compost by volume in the topsoil and 35 to 40% for planting beds.
Soil organic matter is the decomposed material that you find in the soil that feeds worms and other soil life. It's essential to making the nutrients available to plants so that you can have a healthy, thriving landscape. Contractors have a variety of methods available to them that can help them achieve the soil standard. For conditions where the site has native soil, and this would be areas that are forested, they can leave those areas undisturbed. They can fence them off, and they can just do the construction around those areas. The other option they have is to stockpile the site soil and then reapply it after construction is complete. Now, in conditions where the soil has been disturbed, so it was formerly forested and it had been converted to pasture, the options are to amend the existing soil in place with compost, to stockpile the soil and then reapply it and amend it after it's reapplied, or new topsoil can be brought in, and the imported topsoil will have to meet the soil organic matter content requirements of the standard.
The developer of this Renton project, Cam West, has worked with King County to demonstrate the value of amended soils, like those specified by the soil standards. For contractors, the soil standards are a new requirement, but part of the evolution of site development. Topsoil now joins the list of building site components like framing, plumbing, and electrical that will need to be inspected before the project can be approved.
Landscape architects have been advocating for better soil management practices for years, just because of all the benefits to healthy plant growth and water quality, quite frankly. This ordinance brings us into compliance with the new stormwater management, BMPs, or best management practices. Placing amended soils or stockpiling topsoils is another step in the process, and it's quite a large one. So there's front-end cost to that. I do believe there's absolute long-term savings and benefit to that, from healthier plant material, better growing medium, the whole opportunity for water to stay on sites longer, infiltrate, water quality impacts or improvements, if you will.
County inspectors will perform a simple site inspection and use documentation to verify that builders are meeting the new post-construction soil standards.
What we're looking at when we come in the field is we have an approved soil plan that through the review process somebody looks over it and makes sure that it makes sense and adds up to what's on the site before any development occurs. We come out after the fact with that plan and verify that it's been implemented per the approval. And how we do that is visual observation, and then digging holes to see what the soil actually looks like, and then also collecting receipts from the soil vendors that provide the soil. Well, you can see how easily the shovel goes into the soil. That's an indication that the top foot or so of the soil is loose and non-compacted, which is what we're looking for. So it has the availability to hold water. So we'll do that sporadically throughout the site to make sure that it's been applied about the site. Before this requirement, of topsoil amendment, this is a pretty typical construction site, and what you'd see is the equipment drives over the soil and compacts it. And if you don't amend the soils, this is really unhealthy landscape. It's really hard to dig in. And the water will not infiltrate. It's just going to run right down to the stream.
What does healthy soil do for a home? Well, that's a question King County's own Yard Talk guys are happy to answer.
You wouldn't build a house without a solid foundation, yet historically people have frequently ignored building their soil before building their landscape.
Feeding and enriching your soil is so important. We're here at the Inner Bay Pea Patch where building healthy soil is nothing new. There are compost bins all over the place, and these gardeners understand living soil is vital to growing healthy gardens.
Whether you're growing lawn, veggies, or ornamental plants, starting your home landscape with healthy soil means fewer landscape problems in the future. This also means you save money in the long run.
No kidding. Plants aren't cheap, and replacing them means additional time and money. Spending a little more before installation saves you money that you would end up spending on water, plant replacement, and landscape chemicals.
Decompacting your soil and making sure it has the best level of organic matter is the solution for most of the soil problems we have in the Pacific Northwest.
And it's not just about the money. A healthy, vibrant, plant-filled landscape is better for your health, the environment, and resale value.
The homeowner reaps the long-lasting benefits of having a foundation of healthy, deep soil for their landscape plants.
I know it's going to add value to the home, not only while we live here and enjoy it now, but if and when we sell in the future. This will add great value to the home, and I think it's going to add great value to the community in general. And more and more home development areas take this philosophy of soil development and all. I think this will be a great thing.
King County is one of the first areas of the country to make soil standards a mandatory part of the building process. But other local governments in western Washington have and will be adopting similar requirements to comply with state rules. If you'd like more information on King County's post-construction soil standards, go to www.greentools.us or call area code 206-296-6759.